Yay, it's time to come back to another podcast about the colonies. Well, at least you're halfway done. You got two down, you got two more to go. Today, we're going to be continuing our way down south along the Atlantic coast by talking about the Middle Colonies this time. Now, the Middle Colonies were the most diverse region in terms of religion, ethnicity, and social class. They developed a thriving export economy with cultivation of a lot of cereal crops. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the episode.
Hear ye! My name is Samuel Savory, and I present free thoughts on the proceedings of the Continental Congress. Heed not the rebel who scream revolution. They have not your interest.
Wait. You're saying that you're not promoting the colonies? Bruh. Anyway, I guess we're not going to be using that music. So, yeah, this is APUSHLESS, as you can tell. As always, I'm your host, Trevor Bushnell, and today we're going to be looking at the Middle Colonies. So enjoy. Okay, so in 1681, Charles II granted lots of land, about 25,000 miles squared, to William Penn to pay off the debts the king owed to William Penn's father. Now, Penn and the king were on very friendly terms, despite Penn actually being a Quaker. They were also on good friendly terms because the king was very pleased to see a colony that removed England's Quakers. Also, in case you already couldn't tell the name, the colony was also named after William Penn's father. Now, Quakerism provided the guiding of set beliefs in Pennsylvania, and its approach to religion and life was radically non-hierarchical. Quakerism viewed everyone as equal in the eyes of God, and there were no social classes. It also addressed each other as friends, avoiding lowers bowing to betters. Quakers also never attended sermons. They actually attended, quote, meetings, where each congregant spoke if they were moved. Now, Penn wanted to establish something called a holy experiment to put egalitarian views into practice. They also initiated friendly relations with local native groups and practiced religious toleration and disliked slavery, even though it did exist in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania then thrived throughout the 17th century, and Philadelphia was a bigger commercial center Philadelphia was a bigger commercial center than that of New York. And it is here that I want to talk about deference and egalitarianism. Now, deference, which is ritualistic display of submission by common people towards those of a superior class, was a standard European and colonial America social practice. The egalitarian spirit of Quakerism would then come to shape social norms in early United States. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about New Jersey and Delaware. Now, New Jersey and Delaware were both initially established by the Dutch. Now, after New Netherland was captured by England in 1664, the Duke of York gave land to Sir George Carrickatect and Lord Berkeley to establish New Jersey. Delaware was settled by the Dutch in 1631, but settlers were killed off by Native Americans. In 1638, Sweden established a trading post and colony at Fort Christina, and in 1651, the Dutch established a fort in the Swedish colony, and Holland then eventually takes over the colony and incorporates it into the New Netherlands. When the Dutch were beat by England in 1664, the Duke of York granted land to William Penn and incorporated it into Pennsylvania, but in 1704, Delaware developed their own representative body, becoming independent of Pennsylvania. Now, New Amsterdam was also captured by the English in 1664, and that was renamed New York. Now, New York continued to function as a commercial port, similar to that of Boston and Philadelphia, and slavery played a central position in the economy. The New York slave population was greater than the North Carolina slave population. New York was also similar to New Amsterdam in the fact that commerce is more important than religion, and diverse ethnicities and races. Let's switch gears and talk about the Negro Plot of 1741, all in quotes. So the tensions in New York and between whites and slaves came to surface in 1741, where a series of unexplained fires in the city led authorities to believe in a slave conspiracy. Because of this, 150 plus African Americans were arrested, along with 20 arrested whites. Also, 20 people were executed, which was more people that were executed than during the Salem witch trials. Historians today still debate over the extent of this plot, or even if there actually was a plot to begin with, or if there was just a mass slaughter and kill of slaves. And next up we have, we're done already? Wow, that was very quick.
Theodosia writes me a letter every day. I'm keeping her bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side in Georgia. He's trying to keep the colonies in line. Well, he can keep all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep loving anyway.
APUSHLESS is supported this week by SoundCloud, Google Sites, and YouTube. As always, I am your host, Trevor Bushnell. Our content supporters, as always, are Barron's AP United States History Study Guide, McGraw-Hill's 5 Steps to a 5 AP United States History Guide. And the music is provided by the official Hamilton original cast soundtrack, because that is only the best musical out there, especially for this show.
When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect.
You can find the episodes of APUSHLESS in the public OneDrive folder with the link at sites.google.com/site/APUSHLESS/episodes, all lowercase. You can also find the first about 10 episodes on SoundCloud, and you can find everything else if you want to stream it on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, make sure you subscribe. The show notes and other resources, as well as the updates regarding the show, can be found at sites.google.com/site/APUSHLESS. You guys are more than welcome to contact us with questions and reviews at feedback.apushLess@gmail.com. The comments are also a great place to do that as well. We are a group of historians based out of the small, quaint Pacific Northwest town of Burnell, Washington.
Hamilton doesn't hesitate. He exhibits no restraint. Takes and he takes and he takes and he keeps
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys next time.
Changes the game, plays and he raises the stakes. And if there's a reason he seems to thrive, and so few survive, then goddamn it, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing